Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Retro Gamers Podcast, episode number 372. Larry here.
And Anthony here.
And what's going on, sir?
All right. Well, everything's back to normal. You know,
It is. Oh,
I'm in my square. You're in your square. We're in completely different locations.
And in the center square, Joan Rivers.
Right? No, it's Paul Lind.
Well, all right, that's before us.
We're going. No, you gotta go back.
Our time.
You gotta go back to Paul Lind.
But our time was Joan Rivers.
Our time was Joan Rivers,
and then
I want to say
Whoopi. I think.
Yeah, Whoopi. Whoopi was the other one.
Yeah.
Yes, but Paul Lind. You gotta go back to Paul Lind.
Where's my stupid Hollywood?
Where's your autographed Hollywood Squares NES?
That bum. I'll say right now.
That's the one. That's a game you should toss.
Well, the game's weird to begin with, but this is so real
John
quick.
Davidson.
Yeah, so I got an autograph of John Davidson, the host of Hollywood Squares. And when I was a child, I wanted to be a game show host growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And John Davidson was like the go-to host for me, at least. Not realizing he had maybe not huge. He had a music career before Hollywood Squares.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, as soon as I mentioned game show, it's like he did Hollywood Squares to pay the alimony bills or something like that.
Yeah,
like he was forced to do it. And he was I think he said to me, I'm not going to quote him, but he said something along the lines of like, oh, you should be able to get some good money on eBay for this.
Wow.
So that's why I keep my sign.
Well, he just, he assumed that that's why you got it signed. And but you're
who's buying a John Davidson on eBay?
Well, but that's why, that's what you should have said to him. You'd be like, "Are you kidding me? I just lost $30 or whatever you paid him."
He wasn't that expensive, but it's next my win, lose, or draw, which will never be signed. So
no,
that guy's dead.
Aw,
poor Peter Tabarkin. No, Peter Tabarkin was win, lose, or draw.
No, Peter Tabarkin was Press Your Luck.
Press Your Luck. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Yeah, he's also dead.
And there was no Press Your Luck game on the NES.
No, it should have been on the Wii.
On the Wii, you had to wait all the way for the Wii to get a Press Your Luck game, I believe. I don't know if there was one on the PC.
There's got to have been one on
there. Had to be.
I remember there was one on
there was
Java.
There was
a web one.
Yeah, there was a web one that I have on a burnt CD-ROM somewhere still.
Maybe that's where I got it from.
Yeah, I have Press Your Luck and a few other game shows on there. I can't remember
got it from you.
So maybe.
I got it from you. We got a great episode. As you can tell from the description and when you clicked on the episode from the title, we have an amazing interview today.
Yes.
That we're going to get into in just a little bit.
You're going to be hearing from Stanislav Puzdriak, who is the director for Memory Card, which is a thriller short film that Larry backed on Kickstarter.
Oh,
so we actually have him on the show today. We did an interview with him, and you're going to hear about that a little bit later.
So actually what we did was last week after we recorded, when I was with Anthony, with you up there, you showed me to a couple of amazing retro game stores, and we're going to basically just show off kind of some stuff that we picked up, and I have it separated out pretty much. All right. So we're going to get right into it. So the first store we went to was Shroomies, correct?
Yes, we went to Shroomies. Love that name.
Yeah, it is a video game store, folks. A video game store.
It is a video game store. Yeah, mushrooms, Mario. It all makes sense.
There we go. Put two and two together.
There you go.
Both stores were amazing. Of course, each one has its own feel and atmosphere to it. But Shroomies, really cool stuff. Had some arcades for sale actually as well, which is pretty.
Yes. I'm surprised you didn't pick one up.
I was staring at them. I'm trying to figure out. I was trying to figure out how to fit it into your car to get it into my car.
Yeah, that wouldn't have worked.
So I picked up two games. From Shroomies, and one of which I picked up only because the box just looked it's in box, looks really good. And it's a game for the Atari, and I'm trying to build up that collection big time. Reactor.
Yeah, that looked really cool because it's a game I don't remember at all.
I definitely never played it. I don't know how to play it right now.
Nope.
But I will learn to play it because the box itself, the instruction booklet, it's almost pristine.
Yeah, that's really cool. That looks great.
And there's the game itself in the box. I don't remember how these boxes I love how this presentation.
Oh yeah, no, I remember the boxes like that. It made it interesting. Yeah. What I love is seeing the logos of of the companies that made games back then. Like right, like back then, Parker Brothers made video
Oh yeah,
games.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
Right.
so yeah, that was always cool. It's always cool to see that now, like how many different game companies or just companies in general got in on the video game craze
Oh
at
my
the time.
gosh, everyone wants a piece of that pie.
That's right. And then it crashed.
And then another game I bought. This I bought strictly because I don't ever remember seeing anything like this. I
Hmm.
don't know if they ever made another game like this. And as we speak, I'm going to try and peel the sticker off the price sticker because I think this is from Codemasters actually, which now
Uh,
makes sense to me.
well, just put your thumb over the price.
No, 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 no. I couldn't see it. I literally could not see the
Oh,
yeah,
got it, got it,
Codemaster.
got
All
it.
right. Codemaster, they came up with some innovative carts. This is for Genesis, Pete Sampras Tennis. Now, I'm not a big tennis fan,
Hmm.
but check this thing out. This is how ingenious was this?
Oh yeah, that was really cool.
It's a 4-player game, and they figured, hey, look, not everyone's going to have a multi-tap.
Hmm.
We'll just put,
We'll put it
controllers
right in
3 and
there.
4 right in the cart.
Yep.
Genius idea.
Very
Genius idea.
smart. Very smart.
So that
Unless,
was
unless like you move the cartridge to put the controller in and it just messed up the game. It's like, can't play.
I got to imagine. Hopefully, you plug it in before you put it in the system.
You would think, but you know what? Not everybody thinks that way.
Unless you're one of those players. You ever see players like when they play racing games, they actually move the controller and stuff.
Yes,
Can you
yes.
imagine like you go to
That
serve,
was you. That was
you
you.
pull back? No, that wasn't me. I never did that.
I
Did I
remember
do
you.
that?
Yeah, I remember you. Yes, I do.
Maybe I
All the
did do
time.
that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mario Kart, you always did that.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
I'll take your word on that one. So yeah, so
that's true.
very cool. Hopefully, maybe I'll find other ones like this. I don't know,
Mhm.
but definitely cool on that.
Well, you know what? That's an interesting stat to look up, though. Like how many games were made that had the actual controller ports in them?
Yeah, right.
Something
Go,
something to look up.
go Codemasters. You want to talk
Yeah.
about your shroomies before we move on to the other store?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll go with my Shroomies because I got two really awesome games. One I've been looking for a long time, but I was actually looking for it on the 360.
Okay.
But one I was looking for a really long time. And then the other one I used to have in my collection when I was younger. Got rid of it at some point. And then when I saw it sitting there, I was like, I need to get it. So the first one I grabbed was Family Game Night 3 for the Nintendo Wii.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Now I bought this specifically, obviously not to play Twister, but I bought this specifically because it has Clue on it, and I'm a Clue fanatic.
Yes, you are.
So I had let me tell you something. I was trying to find this for the 360 for the longest time. Could not find it anywhere. Could not find it. And when I did find it, it was a little more pricey than I wanted to
Yeah.
pay for it. So I was really happy to get this because I can throw this on my Wii U, and then once my HDMI port's fixed, I can play it. Oh, and this is really cool on Shroomies receipts when you get them,
Yeah.
because you know how I keep my receipts. They have their logo.
I saw that. Yes. Yep.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Very cool.
So yeah, so Family Game Night 3 I got for the Wii, and I'm looking forward to playing Clue on it to see how it plays.
Oh, okay.
So I got Family Game Night, and then the other one that I got was on the Sega Genesis, and this made me happy, and I played a little bit of it when I got home too, which is Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego.
Yes.
Now I had this game for the Genesis, and I had it with the encyclopedia because every copy of this game came with an encyclopedia.
Yep.
There was no encyclopedia included this time, but I do have the detective's manual, which again looks brand new.
Cool.
Yeah.
That looks really good. I didn't see that.
Actually,
right.
looks like it did take a little water damage. Actually,
that's okay. Some love.
There's little crinkles in it, but it's got at least it's got the book. Oh, look at that! It's like a detailed sketch.
Oh my gosh.
Of your
schematic.
A schematic of your screen. So, but anyway, really, really cool. Played a couple of rounds with it. It was actually kind of funny to play because you do need to have some type of knowledge of like history in order to play Where in Time, because it gives you little hints on where to go next.
Well, knowledge of history as of when 1991 when that came out.
1992. Yeah.
If you're chasing carbon to East to East Germany, some people might not realize what that might be.
Like, wait a minute, it's telling me I'm stuck at a wall. But that's what I picked up at Shroomies.
Very cool. Very cool. Yep. All right. So so that was Shroomies. And then we ended up, what was the other one called again? Forgive me.
The other one was called Pastime Legends video game.
Pastime Legends, yes. Mm-hmm. Now there, I made out like a bandit on that.
Oh, yeah.
You made out like a bandit.
You went nuts there.
Not as much, only because I kept finding something that was interesting. So I bought 5 games I got from there. And I got and I wanted it on NES, but when I looked it up on Game Boy, I forgot how good it is. Gremlins 2 on
Very
Game
nice.
Boy. Side scroller actually on Game Boy, but I might be going to Game On this weekend, so I might be picking up Gremlins 2 on NES. That game, I loved it on
Okay.
NES.
Yeah, I remember you like raving over that
Oh
one.
my God, I loved it.
Yeah.
Trying to expand my 7800 collection. I only got two games so far for the 7800, but now I got a third one,
All right.
Xevious.
Very nice. And
Great show.
that's for your
2600
Atari
plus.
2600 plus.
Yeah,
Yep.
because it will play 78.
Yep. Not for your what is it? VCS?
VCS. It will play, but I don't think
The long forgotten VCS that you're
How
gonna throw
dare
out.
you? I still use you. Don't worry. You're good. You're good.
Atari's version of Virtual Boy.
Shush.
Well, actually, no, I think the Jaguar would be. They didn't really do well with that.
The Jaguar. Jaguar
Jaguar.
CD.
Jaguar.
Jaguar. Then I picked here, I'll show this one next then. I've been trying to find a shoot 'em up for the Saturn, let alone a really good game for the Saturn. I mean, I got a good collection of Saturn games, don't get me wrong, but trying to find Saturn games is tough. Like good ones that isn't a sports game, because I'm not really into that. But I found a vertical shooter, Galactic Attack, and I love that name.
Very nice.
Galactic Attack, and it plays amazing. Though I might need to contact Jack to inquire about HDMIs for the Saturn.
Oh yeah.
Because right now I have it through composite.
Oh, and that's unacceptable, is it?
I mean, no, it's acceptable, but it just might be easier. I don't know. I gotta say, I gotta look into it. But it plays, and I played it, and it's freaking awesome.
Nice.
Oh, and by the way, folks, just to let you know, all these games that I purchased at Anthony's, because Anthony has the Polymega, I graced him. I allowed him to steal, to rip my games to his system. So he might show you just a couple games that he bought, but he made out like a bandit because he ended up with all of this stuff except for the Atari and Game Boy games.
But in Anthony's defense, right? With these stores being over 3 hours away from where Larry lives, it was the perfect opportunity for him to test them to make sure that they work. And the way that we did that was putting it on my system.
Little did I know is as soon as you put the game in the system, it starts ripping it.
That is correct.
And then the last, well, these you cannot get, haha, because these are unofficial games.
I could not get the Atari games, first off.
Well, no, not yet. There's supposed to be an adapter coming out soon, or a module, excuse me. So I found these two games actually. Forgive me, what was the name of the place again?
This was Pastime Legends.
Pastime Legends actually had like almost, it feels like the whole collection of these games from American Video Entertainment. One of these unlicensed companies, which there were a few for the NES, they found out a way to get past the chip, that lockout chip.
Yep.
And again, they had maybe like 6 or 7 different titles, but these two games, one's basically like a shoot 'em up. The other one's like a shoot 'em up, but more like kind of like Space Harrier, where usually I wasn't fans of those in the past, but I'm starting to come around on those. There's a cotton game that's like that as well. So, and you're gonna look at the carts and you'll tell it's unlicensed because the way the card is. First one here is called Double Strike.
Yes.
Which is again flying.
It looks great.
Shoot 'em up. It plays awesome. And this one, F-15 City War. F-15 City War.
Yeah, those I did not test.
And no, I did test them, and they don't work in your Polymega.
No, they do not.
But they sure do work in the analog.
Oh, that's good.
So that worked out well.
Nice.
And what's great was they even had Double Strike in box. Yeah, which I was debating, but I changed my mind. I'm like, I'll just get the card.
Okay.
So then that's pretty. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games I got there.
Very nice.
Playtime. So
very nice. All right. So then for me, for Pastime Legends, I got 2 games from you.
Honestly.
Right. And then I picked up a couple of games. One of them I picked up purely as a joke. Because there was an episode a few months ago where we talked about exclusive Xbox, not exclusive Xbox, exclusive games for Blockbuster. And we went through the list of them. And I don't remember all of the ones that I actually used to rent from Blockbuster. Like I think I only rented like maybe 1 or 2 exclusives because
like Clay Fighter was like the one.
Yeah, like Clay Fighter was the one like everybody rented, right? And that was like one of the rarest games you could find. But they had a bunch of other ones. So when I saw this game, I just had to get it for the fact that it was a Blockbuster exclusive. So I picked up for Xbox Outlaw Golf 9 Holes of Christmas.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was just a no-brainer type of thing for fun. On the back it says a hole in one.
I didn't read that.
And it
Okay.
also says stuff an outlaw in your stocking.
Hey now.
So yeah, so just a silly golf game for the Xbox that was originally only part of Blockbuster offering. So
Awesome.
thought that was really cool.
Very cool. Yes.
And then the second one I got actually has a little bit of a story, because when I went, I think this was only like my third time at Pastime Legends. I haven't gone very often. So last time I went there, I was with Jack and we went through all of like their Game Gear games. And then we asked them about TurboGrafx.
I didn't even see those there.
The Game Gear games were actually behind the counter in a bin. So
Oh.
when we asked them if they had any, they actually pulled the bin out and we went through them all
Son
and
of
we
a
bought a
gun.
bunch.
Okay.
Yeah. So when and then I asked them about their TurboGrafx stuff, and they said, "Oh, we don't have any TurboGrafx stuff here because nobody ever buys it, so it's in our they have a
Yeah.
storage unit or something." And then I had asked them for a specific game for the 360 that I was looking for, and they said, "Oh, we have that in storage too." They said, "Give me your number." They like, "Give me your number. When we pull it, we'll pull it for you and let you know." They never called me.
Happens.
So I just assumed they didn't pull it.
Mm-hmm.
But then when we were at the store that day, lo and behold, the game that I asked for was out on the shelf for sale. So I picked it right up, and the game I am talking about is Seen It, the movie trivia game, which I
Great game.
absolutely loved.
Fantastic.
Great game. There were 3 of them, at least 3 on the Xbox 360.
Mm-hmm.
And the coolest thing about this was it was a great couch party game.
Oh my God, was it?
Because you can play with 4 players, because it came with 4 controllers.
Yes. The
4
big button controllers. Yeah.
The big button controllers, so you can buzz in and put your answer in. And this was probably one of the last co-op games that I remember playing.
Okay.
For newer systems, like really like sitting down with a bunch of people and playing.
I got you.
And then also it came with the
sensor, yeah.
It came with the sensor so that you can play it. So I was so happy to see it there. I have not tested it yet, so fingers crossed everything works. But just the fact that they had them with the buttons. Now I need to find Box Office Smash and the other one that I can't remember the name of them.
One or two of them were
online,
download only, which you got to get to because that's shutting down soon.
Oh, when is it shutting down?
I don't remember. You got a couple months, I think.
Okay, well, now that I have the actual controllers, I will happily purchase those on 360.
Now, were you the one at the party who absolutely dominated every game?
Always.
Me too. To the point where like I almost felt bad playing.
Yeah.
I'd be like, no.
But in my defense, the games were not all like obvious answers. You know what I mean? Like there were things where it was a pixelated image and it had to come in and things like so
it wasn't order and stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't just like straight up trivia.
Yeah,
where I dominate. Like it was just it had some fun categories and ways to play it.
No, it was fun to play, but I rocked.
Oh, so did I.
Oh my God.
In fact, I think there's a retro showdown in the future. I think with the 2 of us, we're gonna have to throw down.
Me, you, and my cousin's husband, because he's also he wasn't around with us when we played. But he knows a lot of like movie trivia, and I think the 3 of us would be an epic showdown.
That would be great. So we're gonna do that one day in the future.
Yes,
whether it's by you, by me, whatever it is, we'll get it done. So,
Jim, if you're listening, we're going to recruit you.
Yeah. So that was everything I bought.
Awesome.
So not a ton, but still.
No, but a good haul.
Well, actually, like 3 of the 4 games were actually things I was actively looking for. The other one was just a straight up joke.
And you stole most of mine, so.
And I stole most of yours, so win-win.
So there you go.
Win-win.
Oh, and there's actually one more thing I got. And it wasn't from the store, and it wasn't from anywhere else, but a good friend of mine gave me something here that I haven't had in a very long time. Yes, folks. Somehow, and I still don't know why, Anthony, you had multiple N64s.
Yes, I had 2 N64s. Somebody else gave me one, and then this was like years ago. I had promised you the other one, and
which I still didn't remember, but
yeah, which I never got around to giving to you. My only question after I gave it to you was, is that my original one or the one my friend gave
Uh-oh.
me? Because
Could
there's
this
no,
be your original? I don't
I
think
don't,
so.
there's no way to know.
Here's why. Did you end up upgrading the jumper pack in the middle of the system? Remember at
I,
some point
I
you had to
did.
upgrade? Okay.
Yes.
I am pretty sure this, it's been forever since I saw it. I think
Yeah.
that's the original jumper
Okay.
pack. I don't think,
Okay.
because you know what? It is the original because the other one had a red, like a red
It was red.
on it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. So I do have to
Yeah.
look.
Well, I'm going to double check the N64 here because I do remember updating it.
Oh yeah,
So
I
I
think
should,
everyone had
yeah.
at some point.
Yeah. At
This
some
is
point you had
cheap.
to.
Yeah.
So,
So thank you very much for
you're
this.
welcome. Enjoy it.
You did not give me an HDMI cable, you bum. So I have to
No,
find one.
nope. Yeah, that's all on you. But I gave you a console. What
No,
else could
you
you
did.
possibly want?
Listen, you've given me two consoles now in my life, and I think I've given you one. So you're winning.
You have?
The Master System.
Oh, that's right. You gave me the
Yes.
Master System. That is
So
correct.
you gave me this and the EverDrive,
And
the
the
EverCade.
Evercade. Yes. So
So, but very
so
cool.
I win.
And I think I will be looking to. I think I'm going to pick up an HDMI wire over the weekend.
Okay.
Which now also means I have completely. This now is one more. This is now like the 17th input of
Okay.
my 16 input HDMI switch.
Yep.
So I have to make a Sophie's choice
Yeah.
somehow.
Well, I have to buy a new HDMI switch because mine's not working the way that it used to. So
Well, we got 15 other systems. Go for it. Let's get right into game of the week.
game of the week.
Game of the
Okay.
week. So, Anthony's pick, a doozy of a pick, and a
Yes.
fun pick.
Yes. So my pick was Bishibashi Special
Yes.
for the PlayStation 1. I picked it because Larry was talking on the solo episode a couple of weeks ago about how much he loved this game Bishibashi that he played at Game On.
I did at the arcade over there.
Yeah, at the arcade. Completely forgot that I had told him about Bishibashi just a few months ago because I found out it was released on PlayStation. So I went on eBay and literally picked it up while we were recording that episode.
In one ear and out the other. It's like,
In
you
one
know,
ear and out
when
the
Kelly
other.
Bundy was
Yes.
studying for the game show,
Yes.
she could only have
Hold
so much input. Yeah.
Yeah. Not to mention that I mentioned Bishibashi years ago when I played it in Barcade in LA. So I mentioned it several times. Larry chooses not to remember those things. It's fine. So anyway, and since he was here last weekend,
Yes.
I decided that Bishibashi would be the perfect game for a game of the week because we could play against each other. Because the whole point of because the whole point of Bishibashi is it's a bunch of mini games that you play against each other.
Like WarioWare, if you will.
Yeah, like WarioWare. So Larry, Jack, and I,
yep,
because Jack was here as well. The three of us played Bishibashi Special, and you'll see that this Thursday for our game of the week on YouTube.
Yes.
Make sure you check that out.
Multiplayer game of the week.
Yes, our first 3-player game for sure. So Larry, as the person who did not play this before, this was your first time at it. What did you think?
I enjoyed it. I loved it. And again, you know, it played just like the arcade. The only difference is the arcade had some English to it, so it was a little easier to figure out how some of the games worked. But it was still I think maybe one of the games we couldn't really figure out how to properly play. But for the most part, everything else worked out great. And it's just fun. I love those type of games. I love those multiplayer chaotic party games. And kind of to your point when you said that Seen It was like the last party multiplayer local game that you played. This was probably the first time I played a multiplayer game like this with you and Jack in a long time with anyone. Like the last time was probably a year ago or so, whenever the Turtles collection came out. Remember the Konami Cowabunga collection?
Yeah.
And I played it with my cousin, my godson, and his brother. So we played that. And then before that, I can't remember the last time I did any sort of couch co-op. So it was really fun to do that. And again, the games are just so quirky and ridiculous that it was just fun to play. Yeah. And I had a blast. There's really not much else to it because there's no story. It's just the gameplay. And the gameplay is exactly what I expected. To the point where I'm dying to go back to the arcade and at the Lake Grove Mall or the Smith Haven Mall in Lake Grove and play the actual Bishibashi game itself. So I had a blast with it. There's really not much else to say other than if I do ever get a PlayStation that plays Japanese games, I am absolutely purchasing one, if not maybe all, of the Bishibashi games for the
Yeah.
PlayStation.
Yeah, I definitely want to pick up more of them for sure because as soon as I found out that they were available on PlayStation, because I did not know that, I ran
Mhm.
right to eBay and picked one up. But yeah, my experience with this game goes back several years because I played it when Barcade opened in Los Angeles. I don't
Yeah,
remember
5 years
what
ago.
Yeah, I don't remember what year it was. It
No,
was
I think it's 5 years ago because
was
I
it
think they
2019?
just celebrated their 5th anniversary there, I think.
Nice. So yeah, so around 2019, went to Barcade and there was Bishibashi, and my friend Russell and I had an absolute blast playing it. It was super, super fun.
Awesome.
Um, and then playing the one on the PlayStation, it just brought me back to that.
Okay.
Um, Absolutely loved it. The mini games are fun. They're different. It's so fun listening to the guy scream, like he's screaming in Japanese, so we have no idea what he's saying, but he's
Yeah.
basically saying what the title of each game is. And it's just fun to hear that
Oh,
because,
totally.
it's just out of nowhere. It's like it scrolls across the screen in Japanese. He's screaming it at you. It's just this big, energetic, fun game.
And some people might think, oh, that's not how Japanese game shows are exactly like that. There's a lot of
Yes.
screaming, a lot
Mhm.
of chaos, and no one knows what's going on sometimes. So
Exactly.
it really fit right in. So it was cool. I loved it.
Yeah,
So
it did fit right in. And to your point, there's really not a lot to say about it because it's a quick game.
exactly.
It's not the type of game you're going to play for,
Mhm.
50 hours or something like that. But it's a fun game to play with a bunch of people over. You all just sign up. I think because you can play with up to 8 people for these
Yes.
games. It
Yes.
randomly selects two
Not
people
that
to play.
random.
Well, it's supposed to
You'll see.
yeah, you'll see. It's supposed to randomly select two people to play against each other, and then you just keep going until somebody wins.
Yep.
So super fun. It's definitely a game I would recommend if you play multiplayer games like that.
Hmm.
Definitely worth going back and visiting because I'm like you, I'm going to pick up more of them. And my PlayStation 1, I think I still have the disc that allows me to play
Really? For your
Japanese
original?
games
Wow.
for my OG. Yeah, because I still have Fire Pro Wrestling G, and I still have Buster Groove 2. They were both Japanese
They
games.
were.
So
Yep.
so I did need something to play those games. So I still have that, so I can play Bishibashi Special on my PS1 as well, but it's in my Polymega.
Whole lot easier.
Yeah, definitely much, much easier.
So
So excellent game.
very cool.
And with that, Larry, it is your turn to pick this week's game of the week. And what are we going for this
Oh,
time?
I am going way back. This might be the oldest one that we've played so far. And the
Uh-oh.
reason why I'm picking it is because again, just quick, fun, but picking up the Atari game Reactor
Mm-hmm.
and been playing some of it as well. My buddy Mario, been on the show before, actually
Yep.
picked up the Atari Game Station. Oh my God, the thing's
Nice.
amazing. It's fantastic. We'll talk about that next time. But
Okay.
I'm going Atari 2600.
All right.
And
Which
I
one?
am going with my personal favorite Atari 2600 game of all time. And
Missile
no,
Command.
it, I will end the podcast right now. I was gonna say it's not Pac-Man, and it is definitely not Missile Command.
It's Burger
It
Time.
Which other ones you want to mention, huh? Come on,
I
let's
don't
go.
know. That's it.
Really,
Let's leave
that's
it
really
there.
about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
and TNC Surf Design, but that wasn't on. That wasn't on
Hmm.
there. Keystone Capers.
Ooh, nice choice.
Oh my God, I
Nice
love
choice.
love this game.
Okay.
So definitely we're gonna play some Keystone Capers.
Yes.
Hopefully you have it. If you have an original cart, go for it. If there's other means the way for you to play them, go right ahead.
Yep.
But again, sometimes we're gonna pick a game not everyone might be able to have, like
Yeah.
Bishibashi.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, if you have it, play it this week.
I gotta dig out my Atari 2600, I think.
Yeah, man. Or
Hmm.
get a 2600 plus.
I might. Maybe
It's
not.
actually
We'll
not
see.
bad, in all honesty.
Actually, I should talk to my mom. I gave her the gold Atari
Oh
2600. I don't
yes,
know. I
yes.
don't know if that game's on
It
there though.
might not because this is Activision actually.
Yeah, then
So
that's probably not on there.
oh, it might be. I wonder if it's on the Activision collections that are out there. Remember
Oh,
the
could
ones that
be.
like on PlayStation and all
Could
them?
be.
I
Could
don't
be.
know. Well,
Well,
nevertheless,
I'll fish it out somewhere. So
awesome. And without any further ado, here is our interview, and we had a great time doing it.
yes, we did.
It's a blast, and we can't wait to do more down the future.
Hmm.
But the co-director and producer of Memory Card a thriller short that was recently backed on Kickstarter by yours truly, Stanislav Puzdriak. Here's our interview. Folks, we have an amazing segment here right now. We actually have an interview that I know we've been looking forward to. I've been looking forward to doing for a while. And this is going to be a very interesting interview because it's going to be coming from two different spots, filmmaking and gaming.
Yes, I'm actually, yeah, this is a really exciting and probably first time for us too.
And as you can see in the third box, we do have Stan Puzdriak. Puzdriak, hopefully I got
Yeah,
that
it was
for you.
good. It was good.
Ah, thank goodness. And he is the one of the directors and producer of an upcoming short that I discovered on Kickstarter, and I absolutely fell in love with it. And we're going to get into it in a little while. Memory Card, a thriller short movie. And Stan, thank you very much for being here on the Retro Gamers podcast.
Sure, it's an honor for me to be here. First time talking about video games on podcast in English. That sounds interesting.
Oh, we're gonna have a blast with this one, definitely. And
Yeah.
you know, before we get into gaming, before we get into the movie itself, definitely want to know the man behind this movie. If you can, introduce yourself to our listeners, to our viewers.
Yeah. Sometimes really difficult to describe what kind of stuff I do. Like in general, I make videos, all kind of videos, because we do stuff even starting from weddings, and we do movies, and we do a lot of commercials and corporate stuff. Because I'm owner of a video production company, and we have around 35 people on our team now, and we do all kind of videos. But filmmaking was always my passion. I always wanted to focus on films. But I always also had another passion, video games. I think I was thinking about making video games even before I started making videos. It was always my dream, and I think I'm on my way there by just starting making movies about video games, and hopefully then I will be able to be involved in game development. Yeah, so I started making videos, I think when I was 18, it was like 13 years ago. I started working as a video editor on local television. Then I switched to director of photography. I was starting to do making videos myself. And I think around a few years after, I started my own video production company.
Awesome. And that's Rebel Monkey Production, correct? That you have
Yeah,
right
but
now.
before Rebel Monkey Production, there was another one. Yeah, but Rebel Monkey Production, my main one.
Gotcha. Awesome. Um, And looking into your history here, thank you, IMDb. Check it out. Definitely have your body of work looks great. The awards that you've won, Falcon International Film Festival, the Bowdoin International Film Festival, just to name a couple. So definitely you've been out there and your history and your tour of doing these movies. And of course, I can never do justice on the movie side of it. So that's why I got Anthony as well here. Well, I have Anthony because he's co-host, but
Well,
I
yeah,
know
there's
he's going to
that
be
part.
able to relate a little bit more with the filming aspect and the movie aspect.
Yeah, just a little bit. But Stan, one of the first questions that I wanted to throw out at you after looking at your body of work and everything like that is you seem to have when it came to your credits, you started more in documentary. Is that correct?
Yeah, I've been doing documentaries a lot, but I never was into documentaries. The reason I was making them is just easier to make one because you don't need the whole crew, you don't need actors. There is you, camera, and just a story. You just need to film someone. That was the only reason I think I was working documentaries. But now I think we have everything that we can make narrative projects, more narrative projects, and Memory Card is like our first, I would say, like super professional, like real movie. Like we have like all the stuff on board. We have I wouldn't say like huge budget, but it's a good budget for the project, and we are still getting more and more investments from our own pockets at the moment. But we feel like these projects can't go viral, so we want to invest everything we have in it. I mean, not
Okay.
everything we have, like, but everything
Yeah.
we can invest in it.
Right. I was just gonna say, but so basically all of the other pieces you guys have been doing, we saw that you do some commercial work. Obviously, we mentioned the documentary and all the other pieces are really kind of you're using that to kind of channel and fund this, the current film that you're
Yeah,
on
yeah,
to talk
yeah.
about.
That's the thing, because I always was making commercial stuff just to make money so I can make movies, because it was always challenging to get funding for your projects. If I was making only movies all my life, there is a chance that they would be successful, but there is much higher chance that I would be just poor. I mean,
Right.
so
And
it's a really difficult way to get there, to become like a famous director or producer. It's like if you want to become a famous musician, I would say the same thing.
yeah, it's just that, and it's the endless work. It's just you
It's
don't, it's 24/7. You don't get a break. It's just
no breaks.
always, yeah, hard work. Um, is there like a specific movie that you can point to that made you decide that this is what you wanted to do with your life? Like this was going to be your passion?
That's a very interesting question. I don't think there was a specific movie. I mean, one of the first movies that I saw that really impressed me was Evil Dead 2,
Wow.
which is very strange, but it was the one. I was 8 or 7 when I watched it. It really scared me. I think I was
What?
afraid of all the creature from this movie for years, but I still wanted. I was like addicted. I was scared of it, but I was addicted. I wanted to watch it again and again and again.
Well, you know what? As an avid horror movie fan, that was like the perfect answer you could have given for me.
Okay, amazing.
Absolutely love
I
it. And
really love Sam Raimi work. So, and
Oh, he's
Spider-Man
amazing.
movies, yeah, he's
Right?
yeah,
amazing.
Spider-Man and the Evil Dead. I mean, I love those Evil Dead movies, and the fact
Hmm.
that you said that you were 8 or so when you saw them. I think we were 8 when they came out. Uh, but those series. I've always said like those series of movies, the way Evil Dead 1, 2, and then one of the greatest movies in my opinion, Army of Darkness, that I love. The just how the character of Ash just develops and evolves through those
Oh yeah.
movies. That's
Uh,
awesome. That
I'm
was
glad I'm glad you mentioned that, because Ash development is one of my favorites. I really want to make something like this in one of my projects, where you see, first of all, you see like some scared guy
Mhm.
first, but then he becomes a man through the movie, like real masculine, like strong guy who, like in Evil Dead 3, he just goes all the way, like the, he's totally different guy.
Now I want to go watch that movie when we're done. All right.
yeah.
Yeah, Evil Dead 3 was really funny. I remember I was watching it as a kid too. Yeah.
With memory card, I discovered this on Kickstarter. That's where I saw this first, obviously, probably through social media. Something came up about this movie, this short movie, which I'm going to ask, in a moment for you to kind of give a brief description of how it's about. And I'm like, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, I have to be part of this, meaning the Kickstarter part of it. In a synopsis, what is memory card?
Oh, do you want me to describe it? Yeah, I was really glad when I saw your name on Baker list. I remember that moment, and yeah, we already have a place for your name in the movie.
Cannot
I
wait.
already know where it's gonna be. Uh, yeah, Memory Card. It's a movie about PlayStation 1. Some people get angry when I say PlayStation 1, by the way, because it's officially not PlayStation 1. It's just PlayStation. But if you
Mm,
try to Google PlayStation, you'll never find a PlayStation 1.
No,
So
no.
no.
name, yeah. So it's about PlayStation 1, about two guys who discover that there are hidden coordinates in the games, PlayStation games, that lead to a collectible memory card that cost $500,000. And our main
Wow.
character, he's like divorced ex game developer who is really angry for his life because he spent all his life playing video games, and he didn't achieve anything, and now he feels like this is a chance. I know everything about PlayStation 1. I need to win that memory card.
That's awesome. Yeah, the concept like of the coordinates and everything in the games and getting to the memory card. I was like, this is an amazing idea. And like where did that idea like come from? How did the movie kind of begin to become this thing even before the Kickstarter kicked in?
Yeah, our co-director, my co-director Taras, he was a pushing force for this project, because I just told him I always had an idea to make a project that have a PlayStation 1 atmosphere, because I love just watch some old YouTube I forgot how to say it in English. Just people playing video games, old
Oh,
PlayStation games.
play alongs.
Like play-alongs or streamers, like
It'll-
those type
yeah,
of
yeah,
Yeah.
just kind of that. And just watch some old videos, listen to soundtrack, and like there is specific atmosphere. And he also a huge fan of PlayStation 1. He grew up like playing it. It was his first game console, and yeah, he came to me with that idea. Let's make make a movie that there is championship and there are a bunch of guys looking for hidden coordinates. I say, yeah, let's do it.
Awesome.
So
Very cool. And then would PlayStation 1 be your favorite console as well, or was it something a little bit later than that?
so I think my first console was Atari.
Oh,
Oh wow,
nice.
okay.
Yeah, for many years, for years and years, I didn't know it was Atari. I just remember playing it. I didn't know it was Atari. I just discovered it later in years, seeing it somewhere on the internet. But I think the first one was Atari. I also had Sega Genesis
Nice.
and
Genesis, very cool.
PlayStation. But PlayStation was the one that really impressed me. I remember the first time I saw a guy playing on PlayStation Tekken 3, and I remember thinking those graphics are unreal. They're so realistic. There is no way something can be more realistic than this.
It'll never get better than that.
It'll never.
And now look at us today.
I
Those
mean,
polygons are on point.
Even now, Tekken 3 looks pretty good, I would say. I mean, yeah, I think it has one of the best graphics on PlayStation 1 games.
All right, cool. And then in terms of the film itself, is it I think it's a short film, correct?
Right now it's around 25 minutes, yeah, but it's considered as a short film.
Okay, great. And then where are you at now in the production of it?
We are editing the project, and
Okay.
tomorrow, no, the day after tomorrow, on Thursday, we are filming one of our final episodes, and we are planning to have a really good draft of the movie in early June, so we can start submitting into festivals. But it will also require a lot of visual effects and CGI because we film a lot of green screen stuff. We have a lot of moments where our main character doesn't understand where is real life and where are video games, and we will have a lot of 3D animations there.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
Right,
yeah,
that
our
sounds
company
great.
Rebel Monkey, we provide visual effects services. So I'm glad we do. It makes my life easier making this project. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to outsource the visual effects. You just
Yeah,
go.
it would be really difficult. Yeah, it would be really difficult to find someone a really good one. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, there are a lot of good
difficult and
artists.
expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's still expensive. I still need to pay people. Yeah, like that doesn't work for
Of
me.
course.
But yeah.
How'd you find the shooting process itself? I mean, again, I've never made a film. Anthony's made a couple, which I loved. You know, how'd you find the process going for this film? And also, and if you can't divulge, because we obviously won't give anything away or anything like that, but were there any difficulties or concerns with actual showing gameplay or anything like that? You know, I know sometimes some movies have to get creative with showing like official stuff.
Oh yeah, that's what we are going to do. And we still don't have all the rights. We will not have them, I think, never. And so this is fun-based movie. We will not like sell it. We will not make money on it. So it's like fun-based movie. So no difficulties with like showing gameplay. We will show all of it.
Fair.
I think so. Yeah. What's your question like about how was
Just that,
the
like, how is the shooting process? You know, how's it going? You know,
so
yeah.
yeah, so far I filmed, I would say, like 5 narrative or 6 narrative projects, and this was the first time that I wasn't stressful at all.
Yeah.
We had a really good
nice.
team, like from the first moment, first day. Like I remember morning when we started, and everyone left the car, and each person on a set knew what he needs to do. Like everyone was busy like ants, you know, like that was the first time I was seeing like everyone be so professional. But I think that the reason was because we prepared for months. We filmed everything during 3 days, but we prepared for 3 months. I mean, to make those 3 days happen. And those were really long days. Like we started really early and ended almost midnight.
There you
Wow.
go. That's
Yeah,
a day.
I was gonna say pre-production is king. Getting
Yeah.
as much as you can done in pre-production makes everything so much easier.
Yeah, 100% agree with you.
how was the Kickstarter process? You know, how'd it go? Did you find it difficult? It looks like you had some great rewards and everything. Like I said, I jumped on that quick. I'm like, I want my name in this movie somewhere. Even they said, hey, that jerk Larry Mormon did something with this game. As long as I'm in it. No.
So yeah, Kickstarter process, I would say it's very complicated. It's not that easy, and we a few times we said that thing like it might be even easier for us like to make a few commercials to make those monies and to run a Kickstarter campaign. To be honest with you, like but Kickstarter is more important, not about money, just to start making this kind of community people know about us. That was the main reason why we started the campaign, not just to make money, because we put together $5,000, but so far we spent around 12. So, and we are planning to spend at least 5. So yeah, Kickstarter is just a part of everything.
Mm. All right,
Fair
but
enough.
you know what? Every little bit helps get you there, right?
Yeah, everything helps. I'm really glad that we have all these people that help us, and we to be honest, we are planning to start another campaign, but this time we have different kind of rewards because movie is like in post-production stage.
Mhm.
But this time I think it will be more interesting because we will have a trailer ready, so we can show to the people what we have,
Oh,
what we
awesome.
will actually
Oh, that's
release.
great.
So next campaign we'll have a trailer, and I think we will release it in early June.
Okay.
Yeah,
be on
we'll
the
need
lookout.
that campaign to cover all the visual effects expenses and film festival submissions. Yeah,
Fair
film
enough.
festival submissions are crazy because do you know how much they cost?
I don't. Aunt might.
It depends,
It
but
depends. Yeah, some of them
yeah,
are $20. Some of them can go up to $150.
yeah,
And yeah, they can still say, so you can submit like your movie to 10 festivals, like 500 to spend $500 total, and you can hear no from everyone. So you
yeah,
need a budget for film festival submissions.
yeah. I always love the rejections when I get them. I was like,
Really?
but wait, I paid you.
Sorry, Anthony, can I start asking questions too?
Oh, of course.
Of
Yeah.
I'm
course.
I'm curious about your filmmaking background.
My there isn't a whole lot to my filmmaking background, but I actually had lived in LA for about 15 years.
Oh, nice.
I'm in New York now. I kind of bounced around different film companies, but not specifically working in production. I've worked in different departments of marketing and things like that. But I was just doing some films on the side. So I've done a few. I did a web series. I've done a couple of shorts. Um, but aside, essentially, my focus is writing. Screenwriting has been what I've been doing my entire life.
As long as I've known him, again, since high school, he's always been writing, and it's definitely that's what's in him, and that's what I love to see him do.
Yeah,
Cool.
so I started writing, and I wrote in prose in the beginning, but then I switched over to screenwriting when I went to college, and I got my degree in film and focused on screenwriting, even, going through my degrees. So so when I'm not playing video games or doing my day job, I'm writing. That's
Oh,
my
is
thing.
it your like full-time job you do, or you write?
Yeah, no, I have a full-time job. I do not write for my full-time job. I
Oh, okay.
actually I work in theme parks, which
Mm,
is completely different.
yeah.
But it's just right now it's just something I do on the side, and every once in a while
Cool.
when the stars align, I put a project together and try and get it running.
That sounds like my life too. Like once in a while, once a year, I'm trying to make one project, one or two projects.
Yeah, because you
Um,
got to earn a living, right?
yeah, you need to like have family, all the stuff like mortgage.
Yeah, life. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
have a life.
All the life stuff gets in the way.
Yeah,
Stupid
yeah.
bills.
Stupid bills. What kind of movies do you write?
I'm kind of eclectic. So I've written everything from horror to Hallmark.
Mm,
So
Yes.
okay,
um,
cool.
Make a Hallmark horror movie, and we'll see what happens. Tell me.
Yeah.
I would love to, but they wouldn't accept it. So
Mm. I always wanted to make a comedy. I never made a comedy, but I think
comedies are the toughest ones.
yeah, it's a tough genre. Sorry, I think that's the reason why we don't have that many good comedies today. It's a really tough genre.
It's a very tough genre. It's one of the ones, at least from a feature aspect. That's the one that I think is hardest to crack for me. I've actually written a couple of sitcoms though. So short form comedy, I feel like I'm more comfortable with. But if you ask me to write a comedic movie, that's a tougher ask.
Gotcha. So yeah, one of my favorite comedy directors is Judd Apatow, and
Oh,
I'm not sure if you read his script, his comedy script, you will like laugh. I'm not sure if like comedy scripts are funny to read.
Yeah,
I've never actually read scripts. Yeah, I don't know.
I've read my fair share of scripts, and I've read one or two comedies. I'm trying to think back to the ones I did read, but I agree with you. It all depends on. It really does come down to the talent that you hire and and how they deliver it.
Yeah, it's about
Because
delivery. Yeah.
yeah, it will not jump off the page without the right actors.
True.
So.
The only script I literally have is a copy of the Kenny Rogers Roaster episode of Seinfeld that I
Oh.
got signed by Jay Peterman himself, forgetting that he's only in the episode for like the last 15 seconds. But I saw him at a convention. I'm like, I got to pick this up. So I read, I'm like, this is what a script looks like, besides the ones I had in high school during drama.
I want to switch gears a little bit with you, Stan, and get to actual video games because you talked a little bit about your background with Atari, but I want to put you on the spot and ask you, what is your favorite video game? Like, if you had to pick one, what's the one that stands out to you
Oh,
the
favorite
most?
video game.
Yeah. Is there one specific that you can?
I think the ones that I played through the most of the times is GTA Vice City, but
Ooh,
I'm not sure
GTA.
if I'm not sure if Vice City is my favorite game. It might be. I played it
Okay.
so many times, like I know every corner of that game.
Nice.
That was a good one. That was a very good one. That whole series, that GTA 3, San Andreas, Vice
Yeah,
City, that was perfect.
yeah. I always also was a fan of Warcraft 3.
Oh,
Okay.
Warcraft. Okay.
Warcraft, yeah, and the one is the famous game Stalker. It's Ukrainian game. It's one of my favorites too.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
And if you
Yeah.
know Frostpunk, it's like modern strategy.
Oh.
It's a new game. And Banner Saga.
Okay, Frostpunk I'm not familiar with, but I've had friends who lost years of their life in Warcraft.
Oh my
So.
Oh
gosh.
yeah, World of Warcraft probably. Yeah.
That's
Oh yeah, more World of Warcraft.
the
Oh
only
yeah, I
reason.
never liked this one. Funny
No.
because I was a huge fan of Warcraft, but never liked World of Warcraft. So
The only reason why I bought
I
an
spent
iMac.
years of my life, spent a year of my life in Dota, by the way, playing Dota.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow.
A lot of
Okay.
people played that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very addictive.
Yeah. No. World of
Well, it's a good
Warcraft.
thing. It's a good thing you woke up and broke out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Someone's like, get an iMac. It's gonna be perfect for gaming. You're gonna love it. I bought it actually, and our friend Jonathan.
Yeah.
He's like, you're gonna love it. I bought an iMac, and I'm like, played maybe 15 minutes of World of Warcraft. I'm like, I can't dedicate this much time. I'm having trouble in my own life, let alone
Yeah.
having a secondary life in Warcraft. I tried EverQuest. I should have learned my lesson. Since memory card is about PlayStation, like, do you still, even not to do with the project, but do you find yourself going back, playing maybe original PS1 games and
Yep.
any that still stick out besides even GTA? Well, that was on PS1, Vice City, that is. But anything that still sticks out to you as just these ultimate classics for the PlayStation?
Yeah, right before we started working on this movie, I bought PlayStation Classic. I think I see
okay.
one on your wall right now.
The little guy. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
little one.
Yep. And
So
I'm telling you, it's worth every penny. I'm
yeah,
telling
yeah.
you.
So I put it into my TV on maybe HDMI. I downloaded a lot of extra games. I found a few hacks on YouTube where you can put them on flash card
Oh yeah,
because
yeah.
original classic have just like 20 games and most of them are not the best games it has.
Yeah, it was a weird collection that they went
Weird
with
collection. I'm not
for
sure if
that.
it's
Yeah.
legal to speak about that here, but
Yeah, it's all right. We don't mind.
we'll see.
Well, it was and for that it was the whole licensing rights deal. Like the best game to me, some of the best games on the PlayStation are just they're not first party games. So that's why they didn't show up on there.
Yeah. So yeah, but later I decided to buy like a real PlayStation 1 and old
Nice.
TV, and I realized it's a totally different experience when you play a real original console. It's
Oh yeah.
much on an old TV, and it's all this kind of
Oh.
sounds when you put CD inside of the tray. It's like a different experience.
You went all in on an old school television
You
as
need
well.
to do
Okay.
all in to get all
You
of it.
do.
Look at that. Wow.
So
Yeah,
yeah, I have right now like PlayStation Classic, but I have two PlayStation 1. I have two of them
Nice.
just in case. I bought two for a movie in case we do something with one of them. If
Okay.
something happens. Yeah, and I recently, a few days ago, I bought a PSP on eBay.
Ooh.
Oh,
And
nice.
for all those years, I didn't know I can play PlayStation 1 games on PSP.
There's a lot of
Yep.
PS1 games that were available. I regret getting rid of my. I sold back my PSP, figuring I'm done with it. That was the biggest regret I ever made. Yeah, PSP has some great gems on it.
I was just playing it recently, and it feels like this console. I never had PSP before, so right now playing PSP, it feels like this console was ahead of its time, way ahead of its time.
I would say that. Yeah, definitely. I mean, that console also had dedicated movies come out on those
Mhm.
UMDs. I remember buying
I
movie.
saw video on YouTube about a guy reviewing all this kind of movies. It's like it's very difficult to find them now, I think.
Oh yeah, no, they're tough
Yeah.
now. And but also being able to hook up the PSP. Like I remember going, like, if I visit my parents and I think I forgot what movie it was. It might have been Zombieland was one of the first ones where I was able to hook the PSP to the television, and I'm like, Dad, check out this technology. It's never going to get any better. You thought polygons were good? Nope. This is going to be awesome. And then hook it up and having that ability to travel, and then the next step becoming digital movies. And we're always going back and forth here between with me and Ann between physical and digital media, but that's a whole nother
Yep.
story for a whole nother time. But yeah,
So was the battery good enough for you to watch the whole movie on it?
I would have it plug. I bought everything. I go all in. I bought the AC adapter, the television adapter. I made sure. But like on a plane, yeah, the battery wasn't too bad just watching it on its own. I definitely had a
Okay.
few. So first, it was the first media and the first way I ever watched. People are gonna kill me for this. Pulp Fiction.
Oh, okay.
What?
I never saw Pulp Fiction before in its entirety until the PSP.
And you watched it on that tiny little screen?
That's a
You don't
funny way to watch Pulp Fiction. This way. Yeah, I saw it on my PSP.
No. No, no. Well, this is Larry and I disagree on a lot of things. That one will be unforgivable.
It's what keeps our friendship going.
Yeah, that's true.
So, all right. So we're gonna start kind of bringing everything up to speed here, and just the one final thing to mention. I always love telling this story about memory cards with the PlayStation 1. I feel like more people probably bought third-party memory cards than actual Sony first-party memory cards. One of my favorite. Oh, where is it? Here it is. When I bought this gem, the PlayStation. Oh my gosh, what do they call it? I forgot what they call it. The PlayStation Pocket.
Wow,
Which
what is that? I don't know what this is.
it was a memory. Do you know familiar with the Dreamcast?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Okay, and their VMUs, their memory cards had a little screen on it.
I remember they have screens everywhere, even their joystick.
So this was PlayStation's version. I'm pretty sure it only came out in Japan, and we might have got a quick run here in the US. So it's a standard memory card that goes right into the memory card slot, and very, very few games though would be able to download onto it. My battery's not working on this, and you can play like little mini games on this separately.
So it was really on the go?
Yeah, on the go. I mean, very tiny games. It might even had like a slot machine.
It's something
game
like Tamagotchi or
kind of sort of. Sometimes it might be something like that. I don't remember the games off the top of my head, but this is one of my favorite memory cards that I've recently collected.
That's a fun thing. I never heard about it.
Yeah, and then of course the really the only memory card I had growing up was this giant one that plugged into the back of the PlayStation, and it mimicked like 35 memory cards. Never would have to use a physical memory card again based on this thing. And it also let me play copied games, which for a college kid with no money worked out pretty well for a little while, but we don't condone that nowadays.
Okay, that's cool.
No, we don't.
So,
I didn't know all of those technologies existed during this.
They did back then. Yeah, they did. People always find a way to hack something or create some type of shortcut.
I think I was about 9 when I was playing PlayStation 1, so I never heard about all of this stuff.
Yes.
Again,
we were in college at that point.
As a broke college kid, I needed some of those games. But PlayStation, it was the first game. It was the first system I bought used, and I bought it in college. I didn't buy it brand new, and I regret never buying it earlier. So I'm very happy with my PS1 now. So very, very cool stuff. Stan, we don't want to take up too much more of your time. Thank you very much for being on the show here.
Yeah, thank you. This was great.
Yeah, thank you guys.
And yeah.
No, I was just going to say, just for everybody listening and watching, like, you know, if you just want to let them know where they can find you and where they can find information on Memory Card and all of your other work.
Oh yeah, you can go straight to our website, memorycardmovie.com. That's our website. If you can put a link in bio, I would be really thankful. Or
Absolutely.
subscribe to our Instagram. You can find it on our website. All the information is on our website, so it's the first thing I prefer people to go.
Definitely. No, we'll have
All
all
right,
the links
great.
in the descriptions. And again, it's an honor to have you on the show, and we
Yeah,
really appreciate it. And like I said, when I told Anthony about this when I first saw the project. I'm like, Ant, we got to keep an eye on this. This looks awesome, and I'm happy that I can't wait to see the finished product. So
thank you guys.
um,
Thank you for
Yeah,
supporting
same
our
here.
project.
Same here. Absolutely, always. All right. Special thank you to Stanislav Puzdriak for joining us on our show. It was it was an excellent interview. We had a great time, and we're really looking forward to seeing Memory Card, the movie.
cannot
So
wait.
it's going to be really cool. But
Awesome.
while we wait, it's time for us to jump into some retro news.
And
We only have a couple of things that we're going to be talking about today.
literally two. Literally
Yeah,
two.
literally two.
Yes. So the first thing we're going to mention is it is that time of year. We have now the inductees for the 2024 World Video Game Hall of Fame. Outside there, the Strong Museum. How far are you from the Strong Museum again? Rochester?
Rochester is, I think it's either 2 or 4 hours. I can't remember which
that
one.
would not have worked then this past weekend.
Well,
Okay.
actually, no, not. It can't be 4 hours. It's probably it's 2 or 3. You know what? I'll find out soon, and
It was
I will
far
let you
enough,
know.
far enough that we weren't doing it last week.
Yeah, we were definitely not doing it last week, but it's possible that we'll do it next time you come visit.
Fair enough. All right, the 5 games now part of history. And we're just gonna, here we go. It's first on the PC, actually a couple PC games. Ultima.
Oh, Ultima got in. Nice.
And the Susan Lucci of the Video Game Hall of Fame inductees Mist finally in there. So
hey, welcome, Mist.
And you bought all those Mist games last week too. So
I did. You know what? That's what tipped it over.
It was Kismet.
Yeah, that's what it was. That tipped the scale.
Sim City is in there.
Excellent. That one felt like it belonged.
It did.
It did. It definitely belonged.
Another one that's long overdue, Asteroids.
Finally.
Yes.
I don't know how that wasn't in previously. I really don't.
It's weird.
That boggles my mind.
And finally, Resident Evil.
Resident Evil. Of course. Of course. Of course. Actually, to be honest with you, I would love to go back and hear which ones we picked to go in, because I think we were pretty close.
I think so. It's funny. I don't remember now the inductees. But never. Yeah, we can go back. We can double check that. So, but nevertheless, there you go. Your 5 new inductees for the 2024 World Video Game Hall of Fame.
Very nice.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to those games. It makes me want to go and play a couple of them right now.
I really am interested in Asteroids now, and I want to play SimCity and just put in that code to get 999,900.
SimCity, the perfect game to cheat at.
Oh, 100%. Yes. And finally, the other piece of news that we're going to talk about is basically news that was gift wrapped to us by Nintendo.
Yes, it was.
Announced the Nintendo World Championships NES edition.
Yes.
For the Switch.
Okay. I am really excited about this because it's owning a piece of my childhood that I can never own before, because, you know, unless you had one of those rare cartridges, you didn't have this thing.
No, this was wild. It's being released July 18th on Switch, of course, and only Switch. Both digital and physical copy. We'll talk about the physical copy in
I know what I'm getting.
I got news for you. I was kind of debating which version I was going to go with.
You were, and I was very surprised to hear you say that.
I almost was, and then I'm like, you know what? I have no room for any of that. But nevertheless, Nintendo World Championships NES edition, and it's I don't know why it's driving me nuts, but I see a lot of people online comparing it. But it's a lot of people saying it's the NES remix for the Switch.
Oh, it's not.
It's not, because NES remix, which were amazing on the Wii U. And
yes, they were. I want more of those, though. I do want more of those.
They tinkered with the gameplay. Like they merged games, they mixed games. Here, it's just straight up get to the mushroom as quickly as possible.
Yeah, exactly.
Defeat the first dragon in Legend of Zelda as quickly as possible. Stuff like that. Over 150 challenges,
Oh,
Spanning,
wow.
yeah, spanning over 13 classic NES games. And
That's really cool.
here are the 13 NES games, just real fast. Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, 3, and Lost Levels.
Ooh. Okay.
Legend of Zelda 1 and Zelda 2.
Okay.
Metroid, Donkey Kong, The Terrible Balloon Fight, Excite Bike, Ice Climber, Kid Icarus, and Kirby's Adventure.
Okay. My question is, because it sounds awesome, and it does sound like they're just doing the remix game under this title.
Almost, but we'll get
almost. Does it have the actual original setup from the Nintendo World Championship in 1990? Because I would love to do that where it was like, well, actually it doesn't, because you did not say Tetris. You did not say Tetris.
Yeah, so it's not. How can I put it's
just under the name of,
because it's a competition. That's why.
Yes.
Here's why. Because like the real one, which is all, you had to get 100 coins. And then it was something in Tetris, the highest score, Rad Racer, get through the first stage.
Yeah, get through the first stage, and then you just played Tetris for the rest of the time.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
And again, the reason why it's not like NES Remix, because nothing, as far as I know, is like there's no weird merging of games. These are just straight, whatever the challenge is, do it as quickly as possible. Up to 8 players local on one system can compete against each other.
That's really cool.
There will be online ranking as well with these challenges. And the more you play, you unlock coins that will unlock more challenges as you move on. So that's why when they say it's like NES Remix, it's not. This is like the NES competition.
Got it.
And if you store the trailer for this, great trailer. Basically, they brought in some of the competitors from there's only been 3 NES competitions.
Correct. I've been to 2 of them.
You went to 2 of them?
I think so.
We both went to one, not knowing, we didn't know each other back then.
No.
But we both went to the New York one at the Jacob Javits Center.
We went to the New York one in 1990.
I chickened out and did not play.
I played twice.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
Yeah, I played twice and I did not make it to the stage.
A young Larry at that age, who would have been 10 at that point, was a big scaredy cat. And I did not want.
I was not. I kept yelling at my dad. I was like, I want to play again. And he's like, no. You had to pay for each entry.
It was a ticket. It was a separate ticket. I remember my parents bought the ticket.
Yeah.
And I didn't play. I cracked on the pressure like I usually did back then.
Aw, poor Larry.
So you can challenge your friends, you can challenge yourself. So the replay value is tremendous in this.
Very cool.
And what's amazing about this, though, I will admit, is the physical copy. Because the physical copy comes with some cards, comes with the physical game, but it comes with a replica of a gold NES cartridge.
Ooh, okay.
Which I think is really cool.
Yep, must buy. That's a must buy for me.
Like I was starting to say, though, the trailer, though, was fun to watch because there was 1990 and then it was 2015 and 2017, I believe.
Correct.
What they did was they pretty much brought a few of the competitors and the 2 winners back onto the trailer to talk about the game.
Yep.
And I'll throw it out there. Spoiler alert. Everyone ends up in a living room playing the game against each other, having fun. Then all of a sudden, this much older guy walks in, a little bald, and goes, what are you guys playing? And they're all like, who's that guy? And it was the 1990.
It was the 1990 guy.
Which I thought was very cool how they did that.
That's really cool. Yeah. So, and I, just to bring it back.
Yeah.
I attended the one in 1990.
Yeah.
I do not remember if it was 2015 or 2017, but I randomly found out about one of those 2 because I was in Los Angeles at the time and I drove down to it just to check it out for the show. And I talked about it on the show. I think it was 2017. Because I think
I'm starting to vaguely remember this.
Yeah, because I have a poster of Mario Kart 7.
Yes.
With the Nintendo World Championship logo on it.
Yes.
Which I don't have out right now. But I do have it in a frame somewhere.
Okay.
So, and that's when I first played. They had I did play Mario Kart 7 for the
Mhm.
first time ever because it was on the 3DS.
DS, 3DS, excuse me. 3DS,
Yeah, it was on the 3DS, and I did not do well.
yeah.
But I also played the Metroid game that they were working on at the time for the 3DS that I don't remember if it ever came out.
No, that became Dread.
That became Dread. So
That
I
became Dread.
played Dread
Look at you.
when it was a different Metroid game.
Good for you.
Yep. So yeah, so there were two.
Awesome.
Out of three.
Yeah, the special edition, like I said, the physical, oh, I'm sorry. The physical edition also comes with 5 pins, which
Oh.
look very much like the 5 pins I think we picked up on the way out.
Nice.
And the only thing that annoys me is that on the cover is this gorgeous little like gold trophy as the logo, but it does not come in the set.
Okay.
Now here's the kicker though. That's the NES edition. The Famicom edition, that might be the one to go for, the physical copy.
Uh-oh.
Because the physical copy comes with 5 pins.
Yep.
Comes with the physical cart.
Yep.
Comes with like 5, well, I don't know the numbers, but like replica box art for NES and the replica box art for the Famicom Disk System games.
Ooh. Okay.
And Japan, you're getting the good stuff. This set will come with a pair of the Famicom Nintendo controllers.
Oh man. All right, I'm gonna have to buy both. Where are you going?
These bad boys.
Oh yeah, I might have to buy both.
So
that's gonna happen.
That might
That's
happen.
cool. For the first time ever, I might buy 2.
No, I would totally get both if I didn't already have both controllers. Though you got to be kind of, oh no, you can buy this. You should be able to buy this set anywhere, from a Japanese store. Normally, you have to be like in Japan to order these controllers from Nintendo. Because I had to buy these on eBay.
Well, guess who's going to Japan this year?
That is true. Very cool. So, and the NES games will use the NES Switch controllers if you have a pair. So just letting you know.
Awesome.
This thing looks amazing. July 18th. I've already got my digital pre-ordered, so I'm all good to go.
Physical all the way.
Very cool. And with that, let's wrap it up. Let's get this done. And where can they find us?
You guys can find us on Facebook.com/RetroGamersPodcast, on Instagram @RetroGamersPodcast, on Twitter @RetroGamersPod. You can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. You can watch us on YouTube and Spotify @RetroGamersPodcast, or you can email us at email@theretrogamers.com.
I did not correct you on X because I was just staring at the special edition Famicom.
I know. I was waiting. I actually paused for a moment.
I know. Sometimes I'm doing other things. I'm multitasking.
You did not correct me. Shame on you.
That's all right. Elon Musk will get you.
Yes, he will. He'll get all of us.
And with that, Ant, have a wonderful week.
You have a great week as well.
And we'll catch you everywhere next week on the Retro Gamers Podcast.